This video is on Form 29B, which is a report of a chartered accountant on computing book profits of a company. Form 29B is a report under Section 115JB of the Income Tax Act for computing the book profits of the company. Here, the chartered accountant certifies that the book profits have been computed in accordance with the provisions of the Income Tax Act. It also ensures correct availment of the resultant MAT credit. The form is required to be filed by every company where the taxable income is less than 15% of the book profit. The company is required to obtain a report from a chartered accountant in Form 29B. This report should be obtained and submitted before the due date of filing the return under Section 139, subsection 1, or along with the return of income furnished in response to a notice under Section 142(1), Clause 1. The form can be used by a chartered accountant who is registered on the e-filing portal and one who has been assigned the form by taxpayer. Let us now look at the prerequisites for filing Form 29B. The taxpayer and the chartered accountant should be registered on the e-filing portal. They should have valid user ID and password. The status of PAN of the taxpayer should be active. The taxpayer should have assigned the CA for Form 29B, and the CA should have valid digital signature certificate registered on the e-filing portal. The process of filling Form 29B is that the form is required to be assigned by the taxpayer to a chartered accountant. It is to be filled and uploaded by the assigned chartered accountant, and the same is required to be accepted and e-verified by the taxpayer for it to be submitted successfully. Let us now look at the form at a glance. The form has 3 parts and an audit report. Part A is applicable to all the companies. The other 2 parts are applicable based on certain conditions. The final part is a report of a chartered accountant. Before starting to fill the form, select the applicability of Part B and C of Form 29B by clicking on the respective options and then click on Proceed. Accordingly, the parts will be available for filling. Part B contains details of amount which is required to be increased or decreased in accordance with subsection 2A of Section 115JB. Part C contains details of amount which is required to be increased or decreased in accordance with subsection 2C of the Section 115JB. Part A contains general details of book profits which are applicable to all companies. Serial number 1, 2, 3 and 4 are related to general information which is pre-filled. Serial number 5 is the mandatory field. Here, financial year will be auto-filled. However, the chartered accountant can change it. In serial number 6 and 7, enter the total income and tax payable on total income as per Income Tax Act 1961. At serial number 8, select whether profit or loss is as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 and enter the amount of profit or loss. In serial number 9 and 10, select yes, no or not applicable for whether the financial year selected at serial number 5 is same as relevant previous year and whether profit and loss account has been prepared as per the consistent accounting policies. If not, then attach the working of extent and variation. In serial number 11, enter the amount of profit or loss as per Companies Act adjusted by the variations in serial number 9 and 10. In serial number 12, add the amount or aggregate of amounts referred to in clauses A to K of explanation 1 to subsection 2. Click on Add Details and select the clause from drop-down menu to enter the amount. At serial number 13, you can deduct the amount or aggregate of amounts referred to in clauses 1 to 8 of explanation 1 of subsection 2 of this section. Click on Add Details, select the clause from the drop-down menu and enter the amount. Serial number 14 and 15 will be auto-filled from Part B and C. At serial number 16, you have to either add or reduce the amount or aggregate of amounts referred to in subclauses B to E of Clause 3 of explanation to subsection 2C of this section for the previous year or any of the preceding previous years. You can also attach the file. At serial number 17, you can add or reduce the amount or aggregate of amounts referred to in subclause F of Clause 3 of explanation to subsection 2C of this section. Serial number 18 will be auto-filled based on serial number 11 to serial number 17. In serial number 19, tax on book profit will be auto-filled. In serial number 20 will be auto-filled as higher of normal income tax or MAT profit as per point number 19. Let us now move to Part B of Form 29B. Part B contains details of amount which is required to be increased or decreased in accordance with subsection 2A of Section 115JB. And Part C contains details of amount which is required to be increased or decreased in accordance with subsection 2C of section 115JB. Let us now move to the report of Chartered Accountant. This is the final part which contains the audit report of the Chartered Accountant. Form 29B can be filled and submitted through online mode and also through the offline mode through offline utility. You can refer to user manual and offline utility for statutory forms to learn more. Now let us look at the steps to file and submit Form 29B through online mode. The form is first required to be assigned by the company taxpayer to a chartered accountant. In order to do that, the company is required to log into the e-filing portal using its user ID and password. On the dashboard, you can click on e-file, reach to income tax forms and then click on file income tax forms. Select Form 29B from persons having business or professional income. Provide the assessment year and assign CA using My CA service. You can attach the supporting documents and then click on Continue button. If the CA is assigned by you already, details of Form 29B pending with CA for filling and acceptance will be displayed. If the CA is not assigned, you can assign a CA by choosing from the existing list of the previously assigned CAs from the drop-down menu. In case there is no CA added, you can add a CA by clicking Authorize Partner on dashboard. Reach to Authorize Partners, click on My CA and then add New CA. Once you click on the Continue button, you can assign the form successfully to the Chartered Accountant. You are requested to please keep a note of the transaction ID for future reference. At step 2, the form is required to be filed by the Chartered Accountant. Here, the Chartered Accountant is required to log into the e-filing portal using its user ID and password. On the Chartered Accountant's dashboard, click on Pending Actions and go to Work List. In your work list, you can choose to accept or reject the request of the taxpayer. If you choose to reject, you can provide the related reason. On rejection, email and SMS communication is sent to the taxpayer. A success message is displayed after acceptance. The Chartered Accountant can then go back to the work list. In the work list, the Chartered Accountant can select File Form and verify the details and click on Continue. On the instructions page of the form, the Chartered Accountant can click on Let's Get Started. You can fill all the required fields for the applicable sections, Part A, Part B, Part C and the report of an accountant and then click on Preview button. Chartered Accountant can then click on Proceed to E-Verify and then Yes to confirm. On clicking Yes, you will be taken to the E-Verify page where you can verify the form using DSC. For further details, you can refer to E-Verify User Manual. After successful e-verification, a success message is displayed along with the transaction ID. On successful submission, a confirmation message is sent to the email ID and mobile number of the taxpayer registered with the e-filing portal for taxpayer's acceptance or rejection. At step 3, the taxpayer can accept the file Form 29B. The taxpayer can now again log into the e-filing portal using its user ID and password. On the taxpayer's dashboard, now the taxpayer is required to click on Pending Action and go to Work List. In the work list, taxpayer can select Accept to accept the form uploaded by the Chartered Accountant or select Reject and provide rejection comments to reject the form. If the taxpayer selects to reject, then it is required to provide the related reason. On rejection, email and SMS communication is sent to the Chartered Accountant on the email ID and mobile number registered on the e-filing portal. If the taxpayer accepts the form filled by the Chartered Accountant, it will be taken to the e-verify page. After successful e-verification, a success message is displayed along with the acknowledgement receipt number. An email confirming successful submission of the form is sent to the email ID and mobile number of the taxpayer and the Chartered Accountant registered with the e-filing portal. Filing of Form 29B is so easy, but in order for a seamless filing, you have to avoid errors in form filing and verification. So therefore, kindly ensure to use the latest version of the utility for generating JSON. Ensure that the PAN of the taxpayer, assessment year, CA membership number, form filing type are correctly entered in the utility and selected on the portal. Install the latest emSigner Embridge application in your system. Log in the DSC token. Profile and contact details should be updated in taxpayer and CA login. Check localhost eMudra is not blacklisted by the system admin and DSC token drive is updated. To know more, you can always visit us